All right, welcome to episode 2 of the Sold Out Podcast. I'm your host, Dubb. Today, I wanted to talk about my musical journey and everything from start all the way up till today. So, I first started making music in 8th grade, is when I first started writing raps. I was just writing them. I used to post them on my Facebook wall. Never really did too much. I remember back in 8th grade, I used to be able to rhyme all the words to the Busta Rhymes verse in Chris Brown Look at Me Now. And that was the first time that I really got interested in rhyming and rapping. That was really the first time that I really took interest in it and tried to write some of my own shit and mess around. And I never really recorded nothing. The next year, I enrolled in Northeast High School. I fucking hated being there. But one of the bright spots of it was I met my best friend to this day, Steph. Y'all know him as Steph Yola. He's on almost every single album I've ever dropped up to this point. And we used to rap back and forth in the lunchroom every day, post shit on each other's Facebook walls, all types of punchlines and bars, all types of stupid kid shit we was doing. But that ended up sparking me asking that year for a little USB mic for Christmas. I had some shitty Dell computer with the program Audacity, which is a free program that you can record into. And I was getting whatever industry beats that I could find on YouTube. I'm so fucking old now that when I started, there was no tight beats on YouTube. You couldn't just go look up Lil Durk type beats. You couldn't go look up whatever type beat you wanted. I had to go and get the Lil Wayne Got Money beat or the Biggie instrumentals and all of that shit. And that's what we started rapping to. So I put a few songs together in my bedroom, as shitty as could be, as you could imagine. Put them together, put them out. That was the very start. Then another classmate of mine at the time who lived right up the street from me gave me a hacked version of FL Studio. And he used to send me beats, and those were the first custom beats that I had ever rapped over. And that's what got me interested in making beats. I went and bought some big-ass Sennheiser headphones, mad overpriced, thinking that was going to make magic happen. I watched every video that I could find, which at the time wasn't much, on how to make beats and how to put this together. Mind you, this is 2013. So the information's not as available then as it is now. Plus, I'm fucking 14 years old. I don't really know how to research. But I started putting together a couple of shitty beats that never saw the light of day. And I'm still rapping over some of my friends' beats and industry beats. And I'm putting together little projects. I'm burning CDs. I'm doing all that stupid shit. 10th grade, I'm now in Lincoln. And at this time, I start playing some of my little demos for someone real close to me named Nitty. Owned a barber shop. I look at him like my godfather. He's been in my life since I was 8 years old. And he was, at the time, was knee deep in the rap game, knew every artist in the city, knew managers. He was doing shows. He had professional music videos out. The whole nine. And at the time, this was not as available as it is now. If you seen somebody with a music video, you automatically thought the motherfucker was on 106 in Park somewhere. Like, this is not the same time. So I was obsessed, like, yo, how do you do this? How do you do that? And he always told me, he's like, yo, you just gotta get your quality up. You gotta get your quality up. So you coming along, you doing this and that, you're still young. But we got to step your quality up. I'm like, all right, well, how the fuck do I do it? I'm recording in my house. Like, he said, all right, I got you. Picked me up one day, took me to my first ever professional, pseudo-professional recording studio. It's called Black Ball Studio. An old head named DJ Fam ran it. And I was going there for a good 3 years. We get there. I knock out a session. I'm looking at all of these programs. He had a booth with a nice little sliding glass door. It was the most state of the art shit that I had seen at that point. I've never seen no audio interfaces. I ain't never seen no mixers. I ain't never seen studio speakers. None of that up to this point. And I was blown away. I used to be over his shoulder every time he mixed my shit or we were recording. I was always picking his brain and learning from him. And he was a real old school dude from the, you know what I mean, came up in the music in the 80s and the 90s. A lot of old school techniques, a lot of like, you know, old school ways to go about things. And I was just like, I couldn't believe, like, it's the first time I'd ever seen Pro Tools. It's the first time I'd ever seen any of this shit. So I'm like, you know, I'm really interested in this. I work with him for the next 3 years. At first, I'm literally, my mom used to give me like $5 to $10 a week just to get something out the vending machine at school. And I was saving that shit up. I'm not eating after football practice. I'm not doing nothing. She didn't even notice at the time. And I'm fucking pocketing that shit. So every 6 weeks, I'm going there and recording for 2 hours. Putting together a song, putting together this, putting together that. And he started to take a liking to me. And, you know, we started shooting little music videos. We started doing all of this. And I ended up coming out with my first project, which was Fame vs. Fortune. We dropped it on Dat Piff when Dat Piff was on fire. It was probably the biggest streaming platform out there at the point. SoundCloud really was, you know what I mean? It was like, it was still like, you know, quiet, kept secret. So I put that out. I was so proud of myself. I had everybody listening to it. It was on everybody's phone. I was going through the school. Yo, let me put this on your phone. Let me download this on your DatPiff. Let me download this on your DatPiff. I'm just running around classrooms, barging in classes that ain't even mine, downloading my shit on people's phones and shit. And from that point on, I was hooked. Everyone started to know me. Oh, that's Dubb. That's Rapper Bull. Strong ass Rapper Bull on the football team. And it became my identity. Like, oh, that's the music dude. We end up, fast forward to my senior year. I've been working on a little project for about a year and a half. Mind you, my productivity is slow because up to that point, I didn't have the funds through 10th grade and early 11th grade. I started working at Wawa around April in 2015, so my 11th grade year. And once I started getting a little bankroll in, that's when I was there every week, knocking 2 songs out. And I ended up getting a project done called the Black Hoodie Project. And I dropped it right after I graduated in 2016. And at the time, it was the first time I ever seen anything crack. Every single song cracked 1,000 plays. I dropped it on SoundCloud. Every song cracked 1,000 plays. Everybody who knew me was telling me that they heard it when they saw me. And I was like, you know, in my mind, you couldn't tell me I wasn't like some sort of underground celebrity. Like, it was the greatest feeling in the world. But again, when I get hooked on something, I get obsessive. So, all right, I'm rapping now, but now I want to learn what Fam's doing in this fucking computer. I want to get better with these beats because I'm tired of sitting here on YouTube saving 200 beats to my watch later, going back to look for something to write to them. They fucking missing, or some of these producers get a little wacky with the licenses and all of this other shit. I want to get into that. And then coming up to the end of my senior year, around when that project came out, I ended up not knowing where the fuck I was going to go to college. I had a few plans, a few things lined up, and they all kind of fell through for one reason or the other. I went and took the SAT. I never even figured out my fucking score on it. So I ended up graduating and didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do with myself. So my mom told me, she's like, listen, I'm a grown-ass man laying the fuck around here. You either want to go to school or you can work for a year, save up, and get the fuck out. Simple as that. So I was like, all right. I couldn't I couldn't really justify it in my head paying tens of thousands of dollars a semester to go learn some shit for somebody else to tell me what I'm qualified to make. So I gotta pay all of this bread for somebody else to look at me and be like, "You worth 50,000 a year." We never it never really felt good to me. So that senior year, stepping back a second. I had been working on my senior project for 3 years up to that point, or 2 years up to that point, and it was to put together a fully functioning recording studio. I had worked on it in my business academy for 3 years, from 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, and I won a cash prize. I won a chance to go to quarterfinals in the city, all types of stuff. I got offered a job from one of the CEOs that was there to judge it before I was even done breaking down my trifold board, and I was done turning my PowerPoint off. He had offered me a job. Here's my card. Call me. So I knew I was on to something. So I started looking around. There was a couple of different music schools in the city. A lot of them weren't like very accredited. It's like, come here for an 8-month course and you leave with a yo salute. Like, there was nothing to it. So I ended up finding Full Sail University after months of looking. I get on the phone with the administrator. She talks to me about what everything is, talks to me how she sends up a care package for you to work from home. You don't got to come live in Florida if it's not feasible, and all of these other things. And it enticed me. Oh, you going to send me up a studio? It was some Sam Ash Guitar Center level shit, but it was the best shit that I had to that point. Sends everything up. I get enrolled, do my financial aid, everything. And from that point on, I was in the audio science bachelor's degree program. And I was there until 2019 when I graduated. And through those years, I mastered how to make beats. I mastered how to sample. I was still dropping projects. I became Pro Tools certified. Switched over to Logic, which I'm still in to this day. I start recording my friends. I start, you know, doing all my own beats, mixes, and everything. From about 2018, nobody else has touched my music in a creative way. No one has mixed a song, no one's recorded a song, no one's made a beat for me since about 2018. That was a huge accomplishment to me. And now I've just been leveling up from that all the way up until today. So I graduate 2019, May. 2 weeks later, I hit up a producer by the name of Jumbo. I had been to Jumbo's once with, again, Nitty. Me and Nitty did a song. The music video is still on my page. It's got 17,000 views. It's the highest views on my channel. He wanted to record there because he loved the beat that I sent him and my verse so much. He's like, yeah, we got to go to the best person I know in the city to get this mix. All right, cool. I'm over his shoulder the whole time watching like a hawk. You know, I come with my beat. I'm watching him touch my beat up, move some shit around, get shit sounding great. So when I graduate a couple months later, I just shoot him my resume and send him a DM on the gram. Yo, if you looking for an apprentice, I'll be there 5 days a week for free. What's up? He was like, yo, come in. Let me talk to you. So I pull up. He's like, I've been building a studio the past like 3-4 months. Downstairs, Studio B, I want to open up. You know, I don't, you do this and that, and we'll go from there. We'll break, this will be what you make, this will be what you charge, and we'll go from there. At first, he held my hand through the whole process of how to book a client, how to, run your schedule and all of those things. And that's like spring 2019. By the time the pandemic hit in March 2020, I was fully functioning by myself. He had a newborn baby. Jumbo packed up shop. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm going home. I got to protect my family. And I stayed in that studio on the front lines every day, recording as much as I fucking could. I didn't give a fuck if I got sick. None of that shit because I was hungry. I wanted that shit. And that's where I learned how to become an entrepreneur and offer entrepreneur level customer service along with being a creative in the space of a business owner. And that's really when my name started to, grow without the city. I'm recording an entire neighborhood in Bristol. They come in 8, 10, 12 hours a week. All of them flooding me, coming in. And we recording, we rocking out, we doing this, we doing that. And I just start growing, and I start growing, and I start learning, and I start learning. I start wasting money on mad software, shit that I don't need, but fucking, it's shit's like toys to me. So I'm just buying all types of shit. I'm learning all types of shit. I'm falling, bumping my head. I'm learning all types of shit, getting the bumps and bruises as they go. So for the next 5 years, working with Jumbo from 2019 to 2024, you know, it was it was really the best learning experience. Every chance he got, he brought me upstairs, showed me some shit. Every time I airdropped him something, he would listen to it, text me back when he could. Mind you, this motherfucker is booked throughout the entire city, and he's still finding some time to, that's cool, turn the kick up, turn the snare up. That's a good vocal right there. This, that, and other. He's still finding time to, tap in and touch base with me. So that's something that I'll definitely never forget because you're not going to find that in a lot of people in the entrepreneur space. If you the man at something, last thing you want to do is make another man to compete with. That's most people's mentality. And it wasn't necessarily his mentality. It was, we pushed towards a common goal. So much to the point that in 2023, when I bought my house, I knew I had some money coming to me from all the years I spent working overnight at Wawa while working at Jumbo's. I got some stock money coming. So when it cleared about a year after leaving the company, mind you, I'm a full-time engineer at this point, and I'm back and forth between home and Jumbo's. Really, like, I'm busy to the point to where I'm barely even sleeping most days. I'm just trying to, but I'm obsessed with this shit. I can't leave it alone. I can't put it down. I'm doing my own personal music. I'm doing my clients' music. I'm doing all types of shit, and I'm never staying still. So then I get my stock money in, and I'm like, yo, I wanna open my own shit. I think I'm ready. So I put every dollar that I had at the time into opening my own studio and taking probably the biggest risk that I've ever taken today, because that required me to leave Jumbo, who at the time was like the big brother over your shoulder, so to speak. I didn't have that, protection anymore of, well, if shit gets slow, this he got to pay the rent, not me, or he got to figure this out, not me. That goes away. So when I opened Sold Out, it all became my responsibility. Yes, I've been booking clients for 5 years. Yes, I've been, managing money and managing artist relations and all these things for 5 years, but now it really is all on me. With that being said, I took off running this summer, and it's been amazing. I haven't slowed down. I haven't had a moment to really sit down. And any moment that I did have, I put into the album that I just dropped, Big Homie 3. So literally, it's been nonstop. My entire life really is music. Even when I'm not around music, I'm listening to the Joe Budden podcast, or I'm listening to YouTube. I'm listening to Devon Terrell. I'm learning all types of new mix techniques or some shit. Like, I got audiobooks playing in my ear. It's always something music related. Even I'm at the gym listening to an audiobook about sine waves and stupid shit like a psychopath. I'm in there listening to some British voice in my ear, mad soft, while I'm got 415 on the deadlift. But this is how I function. Once I get hooked on something, there's nothing that's going to really like tear me away from it. So up to this date, it really is. I have over 500, 600 released songs that I have credits on. I have royalties coming in every month, whether it be I made the beat for somebody or I'm featured on something. I have a whole playlist with like 700 songs that I've mixed that have been released on streaming platforms. I've met so many awesome people throughout the industry and just, the underground city scene. I've seen some of these kids grow up. Some of these kids started recording me when they were 16, 17, and they got kids now. Like, I've really been doing that this long, and it's crazy to think about that. I started out as a 14-year-old just posting shit that'll probably get my page banned now on Facebook, and it turned into a fucking business. Doing all of this shit every day with my best friend, walking 3 streets down to go and sit on his big ass red sectional and just rap all day and play 2K turned into a fucking business. It's crazy. Shout out to everyone who's helped me along the way. Steph, Jumbo, Nitty, like just huge influences musically to me. Without them, I don't really, without those people around, I don't know if I really know where to focus all of this fucking energy and all of my crazy ass ADHD moments if it's not for them. Seeing them do shit first. You know what I mean? Seeing them drop records, do music videos, own studios, do all of this crazy shit. I don't know necessarily if I would have known it was possible if I didn't see them do it. So definitely a big shout out to them. And that's my journey. Nowhere near where I want to be at all. Every day I'm looking at something that I want to buy, save up for, something I want to upgrade. I really want to be one of them top level engineers giving TED Talks about how I mix this Grammy record or this platinum record and this diamond hit. I really want to be one of them. Not even for the money, just I want to be able to say that, something that I push the faders on is playing in every fucking venue and in every AirPod in the fucking world. Like, that's really what I want. I want to leave a fingerprint on music culture for decades or for the rest of time. Like, that's really my goal. It isn't really like, oh man, this shit, man. Everybody will look at you like, oh, this shit mad easy. All you gotta do is tap the space bar and, record niggas and they give you this, that, and that. You eating out here. It's more than that, bro. Like, I put my heart into this shit. Like, I really care about this shit. And I think that's part of the reason, if not the biggest reason, why I'm successful in it. Because I really care about this shit. I remember fucking being 12 years old, rapping in front of the bathroom mirror, fucking lip syncing Lil Wayne lyrics every time he dropped a fucking mixtape on mymixtapes.com. Like, my musical journey goes so far back. My first words was fucking words from a DMX song I'm singing in the laundromat with a fucking saggy diaper on. Like, music's always been who I am, and I'm just really happy that I found something for me. Because I remember them days after I graduated high school, I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. So I'm glad that, I found what I believe to be my calling. And that's my journey. To this point, I'm only 27. Who knows what the next 10 years, 15, 20 years have in store. But I'm definitely ready to find out. And I'm definitely not going to stop. So with that being said, that's the end of episode 2 of the Sold Out Podcast. Like, subscribe, and I'm going to see y'all next week.